Programming for Problem Solving, that is PPS. So as the name suggests, the ninth chapter is Dynamic Memory Allocation, right? So this is the second last chapter of PPS. In short, you can say DMA, Dynamic Memory Allocation. So we will start with the introduction, right? So basically in this chapter, we are going to study 4 methods of dynamic memory allocation. But before going through those methods, I would like to talk about the memory allocation. Whenever you are creating one variable, memory will be assigned to that. If you are creating an array, it may happen that in one particular location, you are starting to store values. That values can be stored in contiguous memory location. So in the video of array, I have already shown that if one zeroth index will be starting from the memory address 200, then the first index will be starting from 204 if it is type of integer, because one array element will occupy 4 bytes, right? So this is how memory is being allocated. But sometimes it may happen that while working, you want to allocate memory dynamically, right? Like if some certain condition occurs, you want to allocate a block of memory. You want to allocate extra block to some extra 100 elements of an array. At that time, what you can do, that we are going to study in this chapter. So basically, you can see 4 methods is being helpful for this kind of memory allocation, that is malloc, calloc, free and realloc. Right. So basically these methods are being defined in the header file stdlib.h header file, that is as standard library.header file. So if you want to access these methods, we first have to include stdlib.h header file, right? So as you can see the note over here that the C dynamic memory allocation can be defined as a procedure in which the size of a data structure like an array is kind of data structure which holds the data, is changed during runtime. So it may happen that at runtime you want to change the size of an array. There are 4 library functions provided by C defined under stdlib.h header file to facilitate the dynamic memory allocation in C programming, and then this function are listed over here. Now if we talk about the first method, that is malloc, then malloc is the abbreviation of the full name memory allocation. So in malloc you are assigning a single memory block to the program, right? So basically this function will return the pointer. We have already covered that how function return the pointers. So this function will return the pointer or say the address of the memory block which is assigned at runtime, right? So suppose I have given an example over here that PTR is that pointer. So PTR can be cast into any pointer. If your extra memory block is being used for holding integers, then the type of pointer will be integer. If that is being used for holding floats, then the type of pointer will be float, right? So based on that we will decide the data type for pointer. You can also write void so that you can use any data type, right? With void you can use integer, float, etc. Then after cast type, that what is the type of pointer, then the name of function, that is malloc, and then what size of block you want to add. So suppose I want to add block to hold 100 array elements of an array, integer array, then what should be the syntax? That int or say pointer ptr equal to int, then as it is pointer we are writing the syntax, then malloc, and as it is holding 100 elements of an array, 100 into size of integer. So basically to hold or to accommodate 100 elements you need 100 into 4 bytes, because one integer element will occupy 4 bytes, right? So we will need 400 byte of memory for that. So the single block will be assigned by using this method, that is malloc. Now one thing you should remember, that if you are assigning a block using malloc, then by default it will be holding garbage value, right? So that is, you have to remember, because there is a difference in case of calloc or realloc, right? So this is all about malloc. You can see how it is graphically represented. So here integer pointer ptr equal to integer pointer, and we are assigning extra block by using malloc, which extra block will contain 5 array element, 5 elements which is having type integer. So basically 20 bytes of memory will be assigned. So this is how this pointer will point to that extra block, right? So you can just graphically imagine this. Then the other thing is calloc. So basically calloc is the abbreviation of the form contiguous memory. By contiguous memory I want to say that if first element is being stored at 200th place, then the second element will be starting from the end of the first element, right? So it will be stored in the sequence. That is called contiguous allocation. How calloc is different than malloc? That in calloc each memory location is being initialized as 0. So default value will be 0. In case of malloc it was garbage value. Now what will be the change in syntax? Nothing. The change in syntax will be same, but instead of malloc we are going to use calloc in order to provide contiguous memory allocation, right? In case of malloc we are just providing the single block of memory. Now after that you can see the graphical representation of calloc over here, in which the syntax is something like int pointer ptr equal to integer pointer calloc 5 into size of integer. So size of integer is generally 4 bytes. So total 5 elements you will need 20 bytes of memory. After that the third method is free. As the name suggests, free method is being used for freeing memory. Now whenever you are using malloc or calloc, memory will be assigned. Either the single block or the contiguous memory will be assigned, but this memory cannot be deallocated automatically. This is not provided by C programming language. You have to manually deallocate this memory so that it is more memory efficient. To deallocate this memory and to reduce the waste of memory, you can use free. So free is being used in order to deallocate the memory which is assigned using malloc and calloc. So once you don't need extra space, at that time you can just free that memory so that it can be used for another purpose in my system. So instead free, you have to write a pointer which is pointing to that extra block. Once you free that memory, that pointer will be dereferenced, and now that block is free to use anywhere else, right? So free method in C is used dynamically deallocate the memory. The memory allocation using functions malloc and calloc is not deallocated on their own. Hence, the free method is used whenever the dynamic memory allocation takes place. It helps to reduce wastage of memory by freeing it. Now, you can see the graphical representation of free method, in which first it was allocated the contiguous memory allocation or the block by using calloc. Now I am going to free the pointer, and it will be the dereference. The pointer will dereference, and my memory will be free. So I can use that memory in some other purpose. The last but not the least is the realloc method. Basically, sometimes it may happen that whatever memory is allocated dynamically, you want more or less memory. You want to change that dynamically allocated memory. Sometimes whatever memory you asked for using malloc and calloc is not sufficient. At that time, dynamically you can ask for reallocating some memory, either a larger block or the smaller block. At that time you can use this function. In this function you have to say that which pointer, right? So here pointer ptr is being used as first argument. So whatever block is being pointed by PTR should be reallocated with the new size. So now new size block will be allocated. Now what happened when the new size block is allocated? Suppose I am asking for 1000 bytes. Now it may happen that in my scene block, after my block, there are some free spaces. So it can add that extra space. Suppose my block is of 400 bytes and now I am asking for 1000 bytes. But after my 400 byte block, there are 600 bytes empty. So either it will allocate 600 bytes, or if the space is not available, then it can just take a new block which is of 1000 bytes and allocate in place of that 400 bytes, right? So this is how it is happening in case of realloc. Realloc is a reallocation method in C used to dynamically change the memory allocation of a previously allocated memory. If the memory previously allocated with the help of malloc and calloc is insufficient, realloc can be used to dynamically reallocate the memory. Reallocation of memory maintains the already present value and new blocks will be initiated with default garbage value. So here whatever block is being assigned, it will be carrying garbage value. And the syntax for reallocation is shown over here. You can just copy down the syntax. Where PTR is reallocated with new size, that is new size. So if I want a new block with size 1000, here you will have to write 1000 bytes. So this is all about the method which is being used in this 9th chapter. 9th chapter is really very small, a shorter chapter, and these are the main topics which is being covered in 9th chapter. Weightage of the 9th chapter is 9%, but basically this is the single question that can be asked in your exam. Malloc and calloc is really very useful in terms of data structures. So in your third semester, whenever you are going to study the subject data structure, especially the linked list and all that things, at that time you have to dynamically allocate the memory and you are going to use this malloc. So basically we are not going to use or we are not going to perform any practical based on malloc and calloc right now. But if you want, you can just Google it and you can just get some exercise. Otherwise, whenever you are practicing the problems of linked list or queues in your third semester, at that time you are going to use these methods. This is just for the sake of introduction of dynamic memory allocation. I hope you enjoyed this class and understand this concept. If you have any doubt, you can comment below the comment section and ask me. See you in the next class with the last chapter of this program. Thank you so much.